Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juggernaut, and let's talk about mods for Stalker 2 today. I'm going to show you a couple of good mods, I'm going to show you how to install them, and generally talk about the modding scene and community a little bit for these games. Well, for all the Stalker games in general, but especially for Stalker 2. So, the game hasn't been out for very long. I think we're on, the second week or so, right about now? And in this very brief period of time, there are already mods for this game that are making the whole experience of playing it that much more customizable and that much better for a lot of people. If you head on over to nexusmods.com/Stalker2 Heart of Chornobyl, you will find this. So there is a load of mods already for the game, which is pretty exciting for me, not gonna lie, because it's a taste of things to come, right? In terms of large mods with new weapons, overhauls, etc., etc. But for now, we have smaller tweaks. The Ultimate Engine tweaks for reducing stutters, lower latency, better clarity, better performance, so on and so forth. Optimization tweaks reduces mouse stutters, improves performance, so on and so forth. Those are great to have generally if you have performance issues with the game. I don't, not really, but I do have occasional stutters, so I'll be investigating one of these two mods eventually. But for now, I want to show you a couple of other things that I think people generally find a little bit annoying about the game and would like to change. The first thing is Grok's Modular Mutant Health. So we're going to open that, and then we're going to also take a look at adjustable carry weight and longer sprinting. So I think these are some of the biggest complaints and biggest issues the vast majority of players have had with the game thus far. One is that your sprinting distance is just way too short. You use up your stamina way too quickly, and you can't sprint enough. Now, for me, it's, for example, the mod says the issue with Stalker 2 are frustrating, and without without a proper modding ecosystem, it takes a lot more time to afford to an effort to maintain things. And yeah, fair enough. That's not it's not ideal yet, but despite these difficulties, we have mods. Now, as far as sprinting is concerned, I'm alright with the amount of sprinting that we can do right now, but that's mainly because I'm used to the other Stalker games where it's roughly similar. But I understand if you're coming from something like Metro, Fallout, or any other post-apocalyptic RPG, then you might be not really used to sprinting for such short distances. And so this mod provides you with an answer. You can choose between 3 different reductions: 75%, 50%, and 25%. Let's say you want to do 50%, you download the mod, and you will install it. And I'll show you how to install mods in just a second, but I also want to showcase a couple of other mods on the Nexus page really quickly, just in case you're completely new to the modding scene and would like to see what's on offer, shall we say. Reduced repair costs is another one. The economy of the game is not moddable, or is not modifiable in the game itself, so you need mods for it. You need third-party mods for it. So you can read more about the changes here and how available variants and change and so on and so forth. But yeah, there you go, right? You can choose between just friendly factions and this and so on and so forth. And it works for Stalker 2 version 1.0.1 at the time of recording, although I'm sure all of these will get updates. Now, this one you can download with a mod manager. But this, again, the economy is something you can't change in the game. People want to change it, and there you go. Repair costs are now a little bit cheaper with this mod. Modular Mutant Health is something I absolutely encourage everyone to try out, because I think the mutants have an absurd amount of health to the point where it's not funny, and it doesn't just make a lot of sense in the game, right? They can take dozens of shotgun shells to the face. Bloodsuckers especially are annoying. They're very fast, they're very agile, they dodge very well. It's difficult to to actually aim on them. And at the same time, they have a lot of health as well. There's something in gaming, excuse me, I'll just take a minute to explain, but there is something in gaming called the holy trinity of enemies, right? Of enemy design. Speed, armor, or HP, and damage. Enemies need to have 2 of 3. If they have all 3, it's a boss fight, or it's a fight you're meant to avoid, right? It's not even a boss fight, it's usually a fight you're meant to avoid, if they have all 3. Bloodsuckers have all 3. They do a fair bit of damage, they're very quick, and they have tons of HP. it's not the best enemy design if they have all three. Just saying. Unless, you can avoid that fight. But oftentimes you can't. So, honestly, I think generally reducing the health that mutants have by 20 to 40% would be ideal. So I fully recommend this mod to try it out. I think it's a great quality of life improvement. Adjustable carry weight is also something people have been complaining about. I like it. I think it makes sense from a roleplay standpoint, from an immersion standpoint, and I'm also used to the carry weight from other Stalker games where you can't exactly lug around 15 AKs in your backpack. But if you want to increase it by a little bit, sure, why not? I wouldn't put it to infinite because that is an option here as well. You can choose between 100, 150, 200, and 999. I wouldn't put it at this unless you're doing some testing or whatever because it's just a bit ridiculous. But if you want to put it to 100, I think fair enough. I think the point at which the game starts to slow you down because you're carrying too much is a little bit early. In terms of your weight. So I would maybe increase it to 100, just to tweak it a tiny bit. Anywho, that's just based off of my first 8 hours or so in the game, and my experience. Anywho, like I said, you want to install these mods, right? Well, good news for you is that it's very simple to install. One of the ways of installing these mods is to download them and install them manually. So, let's say we download this. You're obviously going to need an account on Nexus Mods. You're going to need to create an account, and then you just Whoops, sorry about that. So, like I was saying, you just download this. I already have it downloaded, so I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, basically, you just download this, and I'll show you how to install it manually in just a second. Okay, there we go. Just had to set everything up for the recording before we actually get to installing the mods. So, once you download the mod manually, it's going to look like this. So, it's going to come in a .zip or a .rar format, and what you want to do is, if you have WinZip or you have WinRAR installed or 7-zip or something like that, you want to go right-click. I'm on Windows 11, so I have to go to More Options, and then 7-zip, and then Extract here. Or you can just open it like this, depending on what program you have. Again, for me, I'm just going to open it like this, because there's no need to extract it. Although it is good practice to extract it first, fair enough, so, whatever. Sometimes when you just open it up, some of the files tend to get hidden or not copied over properly, but that's usually for bigger zip files. For smaller mods like this, it doesn't really matter. So, we've extracted it, we no longer need this. We're going to open it up, and, well, you have instructions right here, right? If you install this while on an existing save file, you must unequip or unequip something for the changes to your carry weight to proceed. Obviously, a recalculation of your max threshold, otherwise it won't do anything, obviously. Choose one of the files and place it in your mods folder. Now, where the hell is that mods folder? Well, let me show you. So, carry weight plus sprint reduction, for example. So let's go carry weight 100, half sprint cost. I don't want that. I just want the carry weights. Carry weight 100. You're going to copy this over, Control-C, or you're going to right-click and then copy, and then you're going to install this by going to your game's installation folder, and then finding this. So for me, it's in Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, Stalker 2, Content, Packs, and then Mods. So I'll show you from here. Yours is probably going to be on Steam or something like that, but regardless, right? Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, go into Stalker 2, Content, Packs, and then tilde mods. If you do not have this folder, tilde mods, make it. Just go right-click, new folder, and make it. Also, might be a silly thing, but if you don't know how to type this symbol here, it's Shift and then the 1 key on some keyboards. On most keyboards, it is the key to the left of the number 1 key, right? So it's called the tilde, or sometimes it's also known as the console key. It's right there. You just need to press it or shift press it. Okay? Again, it'll depend on your keyboard, it'll depend on the language that your keyboard is set to, etc., but for most keyboards, for a US standard keyboard, it's Shift and then the key to the left of the number 1 key. Not on the numpad, the one next to the QWERTY keys, right? No, it's next to the letters. So shift-click that, and that's how you get it. In case you didn't know, okay? You make it, and then you just paste it in there, and you're good. It works, right? However, it's not the best way to install mods. I want to show you another way to do it that is arguably a little bit easier. So, in order to do that, we're going to need to open up Vortex. What is Vortex? Well, if you go over here, somewhere. Just give me a second to find it. Welcome to Nexus, etc., etc. Mods. Collection media. It's gotta be here somewhere, I think. Yeah, Vortex, here we go. Install Vortex, it's under support. You go over to install Vortex and you download the latest version. Vortex is a, as it says, elegant, powerful, open source mod manager. I definitely recommend installing and managing all of your mods for Stalker through Vortex or a mod managing tool such as Mod Manager 2. For me, I use Vortex, I'm used to it, I know how it works, I know how to use it, it's simple, but, you know, whatever your preferences are, but I would recommend Vortex. Or Mod Manager 2, Mod Manager 2 is really good as well. So, how does Vortex work? Well, for me, here it is, right? It's going to ask you when you download the game, and when you install the game, and when you install Vortex, it's going to ask you to find it, probably. So, what you're going to need to do, is to go over into Games, and there's going to be a whole bunch of games here. You're going to search for... You have to type it out like that, with the dots, right? You're going to have to type it out like that. So, you're going to search for Stalker, and then you have Stalker Anomaly, Call of Chernobyl, Call of Pripyat, Clear Sky, Shadow of Chernobyl. What you're going to do is you're going to find Stalker 2, which is going to be under unmanaged games here, and you're going to install it. Or rather, you're going to let the mod manager manage Stalker 2, provided you have Stalker 2 installed already. If it can't find the game, you need to point it manually to where the game is installed. Again, just point it to... Just point it to the download folder that you have. I just showed a whole bunch of private documents. None of them are classified as mostly for work, but it's sorry about that. Anywho, just point it to the installation folder of the game. For example, for me, it's, as you previously saw, it's in C Games, Stalker 2, Heart of Chornobyl. And then that's about it, right? So, there you go. Once you've done that, you can head over into the mods section. Now, for you, this is going to be empty, but if you go back over to the Nexus Mods website, and you go over into, for example, Grok's Modular Mutant Health, and you go over here, you have this button, Download with Mod Manager. This is how I recommend you download most of your mods if you are able to, right? Because, let's say the game gets an update. Well, you are one click away from disabling all of these mods in case they break your game and you are no longer able to load into your save file. On the other hand, if you want to update them, you are also one click away from updating them. Now, obviously, there is no update right now. You can check for updates right here, and if there is one, check for updates complete. There isn't one, but if there is, you could click right here and it would automatically update mod for you. So that's just one of several reasons. The other is, you know, if you get some problems with mods, you can easily disable them, reinstall them, etc., etc. Plenty of reasons to use a mod manager, but these are the main ones. So, once you get Vortex working, and by the way, if you have any questions about Vortex, it is down here. You have Vortex help and API documentation. I suggest opening this up, and if you have any questions about Vortex, you can find them here. But, of course, I'm more than willing to help you down in the comments below as well if you have any issues whatsoever with the mod manager or with installing mods for Stalker 2. But like I said, first check out the website, check out the FAQs and stuff like that, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty if that doesn't help. So, what about mods like this, where it's a longer sprint 25% reduction, for example, or the other mod that we just downloaded that don't have a download with mod manager button? Well, let me show you. You go over onto Vortex and you click Install from File. And then you find the file on your computer, which for me is going to be... just give me a minute to find it. Okay, are we live? Yeah, we're recording. Here we are. I found it. Adjustable carry weight. Right, and then here's the beauty of it. You can actually install all of these one at a time, right? But no need. For me, it's just going to be carry weight to 100. Open. Vortex is designed to install mods from archives, but this doesn't look like one. Would you like to create a mod containing just the file? Create a mod. Why not, Vortex? You can also, I think, install it just like this. Or no? No, you would need to install it one at a time with a pack. Okay, never mind. Can I install from folder instead? No, doesn't look like it. Never mind. Well, there you go. So, carry weight is at 100. That's installed. If I want to, for example, install carry weight 200, I can do that as well. And I can create a mod. Now, obviously, there's going to be a problem here. We have carry weight 100 and carry weight 200 enabled at the same time. This isn't going to work. They will contradict one another. So we disable one of them. And if we play with 100 and decide that's not enough, we can exit the game and just switch them around. Right? Very easy, and a heck of a lot easier than doing it manually. So just another reason why I recommend doing it like this. Alright, so that's the gist of it. It's the most simple mods so far that we have available for Stalker 2, but they're already making the game so much more pleasant to play for a lot of people. And yeah, that's how you do it. So now let's test out the mods. In order to play the game, you just click here, and I'll see you in game after the shaders compile and all that. It takes a while to get in, but I'll see you in game, and I'll show you that the mods work. So just give me a second to load it up. Okay, so here we are in the very beginning of the game, and let's open up our backpack. As you can see, max carry weight is now 100. So there you go, you can now carry more stuff around, although I think you'll still be in the red for the vast majority of it, so keep that in mind. It doesn't change the actual distribution of when you're underneath the max limit, or when you're close to the max limit and when you're not, and so on and so forth. But yeah, anyways, here it is. Now, I do need to point something out. If I go back over here and I load into the second slot, which is my main progression, and I'm about 10 hours into the game right now, so if I go back, for example, here to Rostock, let me show you, it won't actually say 100, which, if you read the mod description carefully, you'll understand why, but it doesn't actually change it right now in your active save file. The reason being is the game needs to recalculate the maximum carry weight that you can have somehow, and you need to trigger it to do that. It just doesn't do it on its own. So if you were to open up the bag here, it still says 80, and as you can see, I'm very close to it. Now, you need to either equip a artifact, which increases the amount of carrying capacity you have, or drink a Hercules. As you can see, I have neither, and it took a good few hours to figure out, to try and, you know, get one or the other, but I couldn't get it on this save file, so I just started a new game, decided that it's easier that way. But just so you know, that's the reason, right? So I have vodka, I have all of these things. I don't think I have a single Hercules, do I? Yeah, I don't. Well, you know, there you go. It is what it is, I suppose. So just keep that in mind. You do need to equip either an artifact or drink something that will increase your max carrying capacity for it to recalculate, and then you will have it at 100 for the rest of the game. That's about it. So you can see that the mod works, and, well, it works as the mod author intends for it to work, I suppose, for now at least. It'll have to do. That's about it. If you have any questions about installing mods, and if you need any help using the Nexus Mod Manager, or, sorry, the Vortex Mod Manager, it used to be called the Nexus Mod Manager, or anything along those lines, please let me know down in the comments below. I will help each and every individual as much as I am able to, of course. And, yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have fun, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you do enjoy it, of course, please do remember to like, subscribe. It helps the channel out quite a bit, and you can stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce here. And also, there are options for donating down below in the forms of channel memberships and my channel Patreon. By no means feel compelled to do anything, but just letting you know, if you're feeling extra generous, that there are options for that down below. That's about it. Have fun. Take care. Bye-bye, like I said.